Welcome back to Furry Trash Pod, the podcast for furries by furries. I'm your host, Ink, and this week I was joined by the incredible, talented, stunning, amazing Azakir. They're going to talk to you all about furry dance competitions, how they got started in the fandom, tips and tricks for beginners, and so much more. Enjoy!
I'm Azakir. I've been in the fandom now for about 10 years, and I seem to have gotten myself into a whole lot of trouble. So I've been a fursuiter since 2018. I have been running escape rooms at Scotiacon since 2019. I've been their communications manager since 2023. And I took on the role of hosting their dance competition in 2024. And we invented or introduced the dance battle, Beat Drop Beat Down, in 2025. I've also started to appear at a few other conventions. You may have seen me at Confuzzled this year. I was a stand-in for their dance comp host for a couple of events, and I'm communications lead for Furrific, which is also starting up this year. So yeah, I've been around a few places.
And how did you get started in the fandom?
Um, it was a long time ago. So I was originally invited to attend Confuzzled back in, I think it was 2010 or 2011, when it was a much smaller affair than it is now. And the person who invited me was staff at the time, and I said I'm not going to go because I'm very shy, and if I come along, I'll be hanging off your shoulder all weekend, and you've got staff stuff to do. So don't worry about it. And I waited until my partner had come over from the US and was living in the UK, so we could attend a convention together. So I could hang off his shoulder. So Dora and I attended Scotiacon in 2015. Um, it was purely because it was one of the cheaper options at the time, but it's absolutely become our home convention, despite the fact it's a 6 hour drive away. And the rest is history, really. We kept going to Scotiacon. I started going to a few other events, and yeah, have just become known for being blue and yellow fluff dragons, full of chaos, spreading cheer and joy across various conventions.
So you mentioned Scotiacon quite a lot here, which is great because I've been a few times, and some people may or may not know, but we've worked together a lot, very closely at dance comps. Um, how did you get started, like dancing originally as an attendee, and then ended up running the damn thing?
Um, yeah, it's a really good question. And the answer is I was told to. So basically, ScotiaCon started their dance comps in 2018. And after their first event, when I was kind of comfortable with my suit in 2019, the person running it then, Ashton, came to me and said, "You need to be in our dance comp." And it was both Ashton and Reskel kind of press gang me into doing it. But the thing that I took away from it is that they were so supportive. The whole community there were only 8 dancers at the time. They were all so supportive, very warm, very welcoming. I was still quite nervous. You wouldn't believe it seeing me on stage now, perhaps, but I was incredibly nervous going on stage for that first dance. And I loved the experience so much that I just kept on coming back. And it was the community that kept me coming back. There were new dancers every year. It was growing. It was a wonderful thing to do. The audience seemed to love what I was doing, and I was certainly loving doing it. And then it was a real surprise. We got to 2023's competition, and Ashton came to me and said, "I might need to take a bit of time away from dance comp and running events. Would you mind standing in, taking over for me?" And it was a big ask, but I knew that I wanted that community to keep succeeding and growing and being the wonderful place that it is. So I said, yeah, I'm really flattered to be asked, and of course I will. I'll take that on. Um, and we've just continued to grow it with the same kind of ethos of we are here to show people what we feel when the music plays, and we all come together and support each other in that, and we entertain people. It's what we love to do. I've just been enjoying turning my hand to whatever opportunities come up. I've hosted a talent competition over on Fursuiting 101. Whatever opportunities arise, I love to just jump into them and see what I can do. But I will admit it's been a lot easier with the dance competition hosting, knowing that I've got you as my backstage cat running everything in the background.
So a lot of the events you took part in, like Dance Comp and Beach Drop and stuff like that, like Pause and Water this year, Confuzzled, um, a lot of that is live streamed, thanks to the fabulous AV teams on both sides. Does that pressure or like nerve ever get to you? Like obviously you've got a live audience in front of you, but people from all over the world are watching as well.
Um, Weirdly, no. Not really. Not once I'm going. There's always those nerves before you step on stage, but it's what I talk to my dancers about, something called the held breath moment, and it's when you go over the top of the roller coaster. So you kind of step up to the stage, you're about to go on, you're full of nerves, you hold your breath for a second, and then you run on stage, do whatever it is you're going to do, and suddenly it's over, and you're at the bottom of the roller coaster. You've gone through all the loops and turns, and you feel amazing. So it's once you're in motion, I think it all just seems to come, and I just completely light up on the stage. It's a wonderful feeling, and it's really hard to put into words. But you come out of there just feeling like, I want to do it again. I can't wait until next time. We'll do it bigger, we'll do it better, and just looking forward to the future.
I know you do a lot of the escape rooms and stuff at Scotiacon. What is involved behind the scenes running an escape room?
Um, a huge amount of planning. So people come in and do the escape rooms, and it's generally about 45 minutes per game, and then 15 minutes to intro, outro, and setup. And that seems like quite a small thing per game, but the weeks of planning that go into that in the background. So, for example, I'm running a escape room again at Scotiacon in 2026. And I'm already planning it, and we're still, what, 5, 6 months beforehand. Um, it starts off with just taking the theme for the convention and writing down on a page everything that you can think of that's related to that theme. So for Scotiacon's Wild West, we've got a saloon, we've got kind of old style revolvers, bullets, the mine shaft, a dynamite, all those kinds of things that you would see in lots of cliched Wild West movies. And then you start to pick away at those and decide, okay, out of all of those, what can I attach a puzzle to? How can I arrange things so there's a puzzle that relates to them? And once you've got all those pieces, it's like creating a jigsaw. I've created the individual pieces. Now I have to fit them together. And so there are a lot of flowcharts involved. Um, and also, if I can find people willing enough, play testers to come in and try what it is that I'm doing, and see if it all hangs together, if it all takes the right amount of time. So yeah, it's a huge amount of planning and spreadsheets and flowcharts. But hopefully, at the end of it all, it results in a really engaging experience for players. And I seem to be doing all right. Every time I try and increase the number of games I run at a convention, the attendees instantly fill them all up, and all seem to have a great time. So couldn't be more happy with how those run.
And tell me, how did you kind of get started in the escape rooms? So I've done a few of them like in the human world myself, but I've never done one. Admittedly, I put my paws up to it. I've never done one of yours yet. It's something I want to do at some point in time. At conventions, time melts together, and you just lose. Like you go in on Thursday, and you blink, and next thing you know, it's Monday. So I'm putting it out there. I'm finding time next year to play one of your escape rooms. But how did you get started making them in the first place?
Yeah, and I would really love to have you at one of my escape rooms. It would be great to show you what goes on there when we start doing the puzzles. But yeah, so I originally got into escape rooms. Oh, it was such a long time ago now. Years and years and years back. Can't remember exactly when, but I was invited by a friend for a birthday event. They said, "Come and do an escape room." Never heard of what these things were, how you did them, what they entailed. But I had an absolutely amazing day doing a couple of these rooms, and then just kind of got bitten by the bug and started to do them wherever I went. I was like, is there an escape room there? Can we do escape rooms? So I'd done maybe 10, 15 rooms, and I was thinking along the lines of, I could do this sort of puzzle. These puzzles kind of speak to me in a way that I could create these. And I started doing them for my family at Christmas. I would build little treasure hunts with escape room features in them. So I didn't lock them in a room while the turkey was cooking, but I did hide things around the house and then put puzzles around, made them go and find their presents. Um, and I got to the point where I'd done this maybe two or three times, and Scotiacon was coming up, events were opening, and I put a proposal in. I said, "Can I run a panel on how to build an escape room?" Because I've got a bit of experience. And Scotiacon came back to me and went, "No, we want you to run an actual escape room." So again, just like the dance comps, I was told to do it. And to be honest, I really only needed that nudge to grab onto it. I was given a room for 6 hours, built a steampunk themed adventure for the 2019 convention, and they've just continued to have me back every year. And I'm so proud that when we get the feedback results in for the convention, the escape room is consistently in the top 10 events that people run. So yeah, immensely proud of what we achieved.
As you should be. It sounds like a great crack altogether. Um, I've name dropped you quite a lot. I call you Azzy because we know we're friends in the world. But how did you get your persona's name? It's one I've never come across before.
Oh, that one's a boring answer. I just came up with it one day. It just hit me. And I mean, this was a long time ago. So I've been in the fandom 10 years, but Azakir has been part of my life for about 30 years. So it was literally I was just walking along one day, and the name just hit me, and it stuck. So I've just kept it all this time, and I've never really had any interest in moving onto any other character or persona. I've always been Azzy, always big yellow fluff dragon, and I don't think that will ever change.
I want to say too that I love how you've kept the yellow theme for lots of things. Like, say when you're doing dance comp stuff, you've got like a very snazzy hat, which I love, by the way. How did that come about, the hat thing?
Um, I really wanted to wear a hat when I started running dance comps. The first year I did it, I didn't have a hat, and I don't know, I felt a little bit bold. It was like I can put the theme into this somehow and try and bring something else to my costume and like build a little bit of a I don't know, like a visual personality maybe. And the hat seems to have become it. So I got a fedora, got my purple fedora, which was dance comp this year. Wore that with the yellow feather, and then kind of thought, well, I can get other hats as well. So I ended up I've got a top hat now, purple top hat that I've worn to do the talent competition at Confuzzled this year. And I've got a big magician's hat which I got for the theme for Scotiacon. The Magical Mayhem theme, which actually fits perfectly on my fursuit, and I love wearing it now. I have more hats for future conventions to come, so watch out for those. I'm not going to spoil anything.
So you mentioned your fursuit quite a lot. How long have you been fursuiting for?
So I started fursuiting in 2018. I'd had one opportunity to try a friend's suit. It was a partial, and it was leatherwork rather than fur. But it gave me an idea of what it felt to put on a head, put on some hand paws, and just kind of become a different character for a while. Um, and Azakir had been with me for a long time by that point, but there was an opportunity there to kind of try having Azakir as a fursuit. And it absolutely changed the world for me. We both me and my partner Doran got our fursuits at the same time from the same maker, and it gave me an opportunity to be kind of myself, but turning the dial up to 11. So anyone who's seen me in suit will see how chaotic and energetic I am. And even if I'm exhausted, when I put the suit on, I get this whole new energy. And it took maybe 3 or 4 years. I mean, we went through the pandemic, so we were spent a little bit of time locked down at home like everybody was. But when we came back from that, and I kept on wearing the suit. what I became in the suit kind of bled out of the suit. And so it really opened me up in kind of my normal human mode as well, out of suit mode, which is what you see now on stage when I'm hosting events. It was really having the fursuit that enabled me to find that energy. And yeah, it's really transformed my life. It's been a wonderful experience. It's such a common story, I think, though, for many of us who wear fursuits. And you're absolutely right. You do not need a fursuit to be part of the fandom. And you know what? It's as I've said before, at fursuiting panels, fursuiting can be claustrophobic. It's hot. It can be uncomfortable. You can't see very well in many suits. But it's absolutely the best experience in the world for a lot of people. Some people don't get on with it, and that's absolutely fine. But what I find it brings to me and my life and my experience of the fandom, and the amount of smiles and joy that I can spread with it, is just something that I can't imagine it not being part of my life now.
So, what would you say to someone who is thinking about auditioning or taking part in a dance comp for the first time?
Come and talk to me, come and talk to the community. We have our own little chat group for the Scotiacon dance competition, and I know other dance comps have those as well. But get to know the community. We are a very friendly bunch. We love to see new people join us, and bring their own kind of styles, their own dancers, their own interpretation of the music to us. We are very supportive. We help newcomers to find their feet in terms of here's how to kind of maybe cut your music, or here's how to develop some choreography. And you know, it's great to see people come in as nervous newbies. We were all nervous newbies once. I certainly was, and I've seen many others come through since. And we turn them into veterans who come back year after year, share their dance with us, and have a great time. It doesn't just restrict itself to your 2 minutes on the dance floor, and some time backstage. These communities run year round. I'm still every day seeing people chatting away in the Scotiacon Dance Competition chat, um, talking about what music they want to run next year, how they're getting on in developing their dancers, what they're hoping will show up in Beat Drop Beat Down this year. So come and get involved in the community because that's the best way to know us. And then come and be part of the show on stage.
Just for those who maybe don't know what beat drop beat down is, could you explain it to the listeners, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So Beat Drop Beatdown is a freestyle dance battle, and it's very similar to events that run at other conventions. So you've seen Pause on Water at Confuzzled, or Pause on Fire at Eurofurence, Pause on Ice at NFC. It's very similar. So we bring two dancers on stage. We spin up a track. Our DJ will spin up a track. The dancers will have a quick listen. If they are okay with it, then we dance to it. If not, if one of them vetoes, they get one veto per round, and can turn down a song and we'll play something else. But once we've got a song that we're going with, one dancer will dance on stage for about 45 or so seconds. We'll call a change. The other dancer will come on, dance for 45 seconds. And then once both dancers have danced, we stop the track, turn to our panel of three judges, and they make a judgment on which dancer won that dance battle, who had the best dance, who impressed the most. And that dancer moves on, so it's a knockout battle. We start with 16 dancers, we go through 4 rounds, and we end up with one winner. It was our first time at Scotiacon this year to run it. And it was a fantastic success. Really couldn't have asked for better. Lots of nerves beforehand, both in the dancers and in myself, because I'd never run that sort of thing before. But it was absolutely marvelous, and I still go back and tear up watching it because I was so happy at how well it turned out for everybody. Because at the end of the day, I see myself as a facilitator. I'm just making that event run for others to enjoy, and seeing so many people having such a great time, both in the dancers and the audience, just overwhelms me every time.
So we've chatted a bit about, before the dance comp and having chat with people and meeting the community and then obviously on site. But afterwards, for you, what's that come down like? When you're like, if you will, the cool down or the moment of realization.
Um, yeah, I mean the moment that we come to the end of the event and I'm saying thank you and enjoy the rest of your convention, and then the music comes up and all the dancers kind of come around, and we're just on such an amazing high. Um, Generally, it's a case of enjoying that for a few minutes, especially at Scotiacon. Like I'm generally doing something else, so enjoy that for a few minutes, then quickly pack up and run to whatever I'm doing next. But the thing that lingers the most is just the memory of how it went, and really feeling that energy and being so excited to do it all again. As soon as we're on the drive home from Glasgow. I'm talking in the car about, right, this is what I want to do for next year. This is what I'm excited to see next year. Really can't wait to see the dancers back and making all of this happen again with them. It's just such an amazing high to ride on. But the waiting to get to do it again is excruciating. I really can't wait for February.
Azzy, thank you so much for coming on to Furry Trash Bot. I really, really enjoyed having our chat together. Let people know where they can find you online.
Yeah, so you can find me on Blue Sky at azakir.bsky.social. And you can also grab me on Telegram. I'm at YellowFluff.
Thank you very much, Azzy, for coming on once again. And I'll make sure to have all your social media links below in the description, as well as the links for Trash Pod's social medias. And sure, we'll see you all next week. Bye for now.